And we're live. Mm. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay at home moms and pops. Shout out to my retirees, Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to every single clean hearted, good hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. You're a good person. Shout out to you. Before I do anything else, let me just go down the line and shout out who is here first so we don't have to do that later, right? Big up to the people them coming in this morning. Shout out to Seymour. Thank you for being the first one here. Sean Cassell says, Morning, fam. And please hit the like button as you join the live. Thank you. I also wrote that message and pinned it up top along with the call in number. If you want to call in and state your opinions on anything, the number is right there. And also a message that says, please hit the thumbs up button when you enter the chat. Thanks in advance. Great goodies is in the building this morning. Virtuous Fire is here. Kai Tai Jai Empress Daya. Journey, let me see. Audrey Wright is here this morning. Says, Morning, fam, and present teacher. Audrey, big up yourself. Janet Stewart's in the building this morning. Sharon Spence, Mr. Article Don, BM. Lessa Steph is here. Darlene Walter Riley, King Biggs, Morning, fam. Senior Sexy is in the building this morning. Mervyn Point, Jamaica Kerr. Hail family. Clean D is here. Crystal G is here. Karen Notice is here. Says, Good morning, SouFLo and family, and everyone tuning in. Enough blessings. Up, up, up. Maxine Good as Gold is in the building. Kaz Robinson is here. And what's our Kataja Empress say? Why did they, sir, hit the like as you enter the live? That's what her message was. And YouTube silenced the message. Don't know why. But okay. Crystal G, Banches, Virtuous Fire, Wayne Nathan, Dorothy T, Lady J, Michelle Howell, Sharon Ingram, Brick House, and Janet Stewart, thank you for being here. Victory Monday, congratulations to our Kansas City Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl. Christine Simpson, I see you. Thank you for being here. Listen up. my 14-year-old is hoarse right now. My throat feel kind of funny, but my 14-year-old is hoarse right now. So last night we bet on, not bet money, friendly bet. I'm not a betting man. I'm cheap. I don't like to lose money, not even a dollar. The most I ever lose money on is lotto tickets. Can me have a chance? I bet a chance. But anyhow, we bet last night and we bet on the Kansas City Chiefs. And we had our own little Super Bowl party, enjoying each other's company and whatnot. As you know, Kosi plays football, and now Jaden is going to be playing football as well, even though he plays basketball. So we're all into it, right? And half of them bet on the Philadelphia Eagles, half of them bet on, which is including me and Coco, bet on the Kansas City Chiefs. Knew that Mahomes or Mahomes, whatever we want to call him, knew that he was going to pull it off. And it got rough out there, but he did pull it off. Exciting game, man. I don't know who here is not into. Kaitaja Empress says YouTube trying to sabotage our show, but it ain't going to work. Listen up, a lot of people don't even get notifications anymore. I contacted YouTube and asked them what's going on. Them said one of the strategies to try is tell people to unsubscribe and resubscribe. The people did that. It's still the same issue. I've been complaining for the longest. I don't even get a reply anymore to my complaints. So, who remembers, and who don't. And when we'll pick up new people and we'll move forward, that's it. Because some people subscribe to you and them never come back till like a year later. And then they're like, oh, you're still there here? Yeah, I'm still here with 100,000 more subscribers than when you subscribe, but it's okay. We growing anyways, regardless, Anyhow, big up to Kataja Empress and everybody else who loyal to the thing and tune in. Did y'all see? So this morning, I'm not gonna do no 2-hour thing. I got a lot going on this morning. My son's mom called me early just before I started this. She was like, he's not going to school today. Can you take him to the emergency room? I'm like, what's wrong with him? His throat is hurting and he can't speak. The guy was screaming. Cozy was screaming his head off last night. And by the time I was, Mr. Everybody get in the car, let's go after the Super Bowl. He was talking like this. So I tell his mom, say, yo, leave him alone. He's 14. Let him go to school. It's the screaming that he did from last night. Whenever I scream on horse up yet, me do it already quite a few times, especially at like track and field events or football events. He'll be fine, right? But that's how she is. Like if one of them say "Achoo," hospital or doctor, we gotta find out what's going on with them. We have to find out what's wrong. We don't want this to get out of control. I'm like, it's a sneeze. They'll be okay. He was screaming last night. His throat's hurting. He'll be okay. Jeez. So I don't know. But yeah, Labor Day weekend and concerts. LOL, Onika St. John Jones. Labor Day weekend. You ever did Labor Day weekend in Brooklyn? That's me at the Barris Hammond concert. Labor Day weekend in Brooklyn is something else. A Labor Day weekend? Yeah, man, when them up on the parkway and thing. I don't know. Anyhow, we're going to talk about a couple of things this morning. We don't have much on the table because we're not staying too long. All right. See, Onika says, yes, I live in Flatbush. Juve, Beast Boy. When Juve done, is people leave the block in droves, in groups, crowds. You get your whole little family thing together, your friends and everybody gather up and we go in Juve. And then when people come back, everybody paint up, everybody in a zone, and that lead into the parkway. If you never experience Brooklyn on that time of the year, please do yourself a favor. If you're not one of the jump up type of people, then you can stand on the sidelines and take in the event, the ambiance of the event. It's a scene. It's a scene. It's a whole weekend. It's not just a 1 day thing. So you have a whole lot to take in. It gets wild. It gets wild. And if he's one of them people who like to throw and pelt waste and wind down, then you find a truck. Or you can go truck to truck. But great times for sure. Big up to my Brooklyn people. I'm trying to make it to Brooklyn this year for that. So you might see me out there. I haven't touched base in a while, especially with my mentor, who I spoke to recently. I had to let him know how much of a mentor he was. Sometimes there's somebody that come into your life, right? Or you meet in passing in time, and that person become like a big brother slash father figure slash bear bear positive vibes from that person. You didn't even realize that that person was actually teaching you and being some solid rock in the forming of who you would become. Those were critical times for me. I was pretty young and I was about to make some really, really bad decisions. I'm telling y'all, I was about to make some really bad decisions. And it was that person that, so shout out to him again. And that is Vernon, is a Trini named Vernon. Vernon is a proud Trini. He's a proud Caribbean man. He's a proud black man, but he's a proud Trini. But shout out to him. That's my mentor that actually steered me in the right direction. And he is still in Brooklyn today. And y'all can go by his shop. He's still in Brooklyn today, Union between Bedford and Franklin Ave. And his shop name is Vernon is Hair. I'm telling you, that man, cornerstone in the community now. He's been there for quite some time now. Stake his claim, put his foundation down, and he's still there uplifting a whole lot of other young youths that might be going in the wrong direction. A solid brother, right? So big up to Vernon for that. And big up to my Trini family, because when them people get wild, boy, I'm telling you. Anyhow, I hope to make it to Brooklyn this year. This morning, though, what we're going to talk about is Cheryl Lee Ralph. Cheryl Lee Ralph is a proud Jamaican. Cheryl Lee Ralph got to perform the Lift Every Voice and Sing at the 2023 Super Bowl, and it was spectacular. I don't know if y'all saw her, but there's more behind that song, Lift Every Voice and Sing. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Donald Trump's reaction to Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime performance, and he made it known publicly, not with, you know how Trump stay already. Him never bite him tongue, or he didn't keep out his fingers. He put his information out there for the world to see exactly how he felt about it. And for the people who say, Lord SouFLo, this is a Jamaican news, man. I live in the US. I don't do just Jamaican stuff. However, that whole gun thing that they had in Jamaica, where, okay, now it goes into effect. Anybody found with a illegal firearm is not registered to you, if it was not issued to you by the FLA, then you will be getting 15 years at a minimum. And this is a minimum mandatory sentencing that they had written into law in recent times. Well, I told y'all that this better work for everybody across the board, because if we catch them giving their cronies a blight, we're going to talk about it. And I thought that's exactly what they were going to do, and they got caught doing exactly that. So we're going to talk about that as well, right? So we're still doing this one law for this set of people and one law for that set of people thing. And I'm going to give you a story. Recently just happened. Paula Llewellyn is on the case with her shady self. And this is a perfect example of why criminals will keep criminaling. The criminals are criminaling. Their natural thing to do, especially in Jamaica, especially when, you know, the connections go a certain way for only a certain people. So those are the things we're talking about this morning. Let's start off with, let's keep it up and up. Shout out to Cheryl. Let's start off right there. A feel-good story. So seeing Cheryl Lee Ralph out there in that red outfit, for those of you who missed it, because you know what, Super Bowl and them something there. But you run a back a great a coconut and make pudding. I don't know what you were doing, but you know, Jamaican people stay already. You know what, Super Bowl and them something there. But you run a back a great a coconut to make pudding. That was Cheryl Lee Ralph at the Super Bowl, right? And she was super amazing. All right. Oh, Karen Notice says she was past amazing. She was. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be the one to do this. But hey, leg on my foot. Hear me. If I was to compare Cheryl Lee Ralph's short performance to Rihanna's performance, and I had to give the award to somebody, I would have given it to Cheryl Lee Ralph. Big up to Riri. She did good. But the Cheryl Lee Ralph performance, if you have not seen it yet, at least go see that part. If you're not into football, at least just go back and watch Cheryl Lee Ralph's performance. Now, within minutes of, boy, the Jamaican news media was working too. Big up to them, because Star, Gleaner, Loop, all of them, within minutes of Cheryl Lee Ralph performing Lift Every Voice and Sing, you know, I'm watching what's going on, the festivities, but you're tapping every now and then, see if you're missing anything, because sometimes these news houses find something that you didn't see. So I'm tapping and I'm say, boom, she's on screen already. Cheryl Lee Ralph sings Lift Every Voice and Sing, but nobody was saying what Lift Every Voice and Sing was, the significance of that song in the United States of America. See? Riri Breedman, she's pregnant. She's very pregnant. It's been confirmed, but we're going to talk about Riri in a minute. See? All right, so Cheryl Lee Ralph has taken her talent to the Super Bowl. I think this is Super Bowl 52. Cheryl Lee Ralph blew me away. When she got up there, I was nervous. I was like, damn, I know she can act. I ain't never seen her sing. Not that I can remember. And if I did, it was probably like a little, you know, when them do like little here and there thing. It wasn't like a whole song in front of so many people. She owned that. She owned that. She is multi-talented for real. You know, easy if you get up in front of how much 1,000 people, you know, and hold the mic and hold your notes, because nervousness alone will make your notes quiver. You sound like when Gota called them mother. Yeah, but she held her own. So the Emmy-winning actress and singer, who is 66 years old, by the way, performs the hymn Lift Every Voice and Sing. There's so much that goes with this lady, man. She is just so inspirational. I remember one time she was speaking and she said, don't let people fool you and tell you about if you haven't made it by 35 or if you haven't made it by 40 and 45, you're never going to make it and you're nobody and all this other stuff. She's 66. 66. She's an actress, yes, we know that. But she's also one of the actresses that had us Caribbean people when I was growing up. When we first come afar, and this are one of the people that we saw on screen that we could say, well, we have people here that represents us too, right? And we hang on to these kind of people. It was like probably about two or three of them: Harry Belafonte, uh, Cheryl Lee Ralph, probably about one more or two more that were on the big screen. And then, of course, in came the hip hop wave with people like Super Cat and Heavy D and all that. And we started feeling really good about ourselves. And then, like more came the Shabba Rankin and all that. Then we Jamaica come from, and then you're really proud now, you know, that kind of stuff. So she was one of those pioneers also that had us feeling good. So we could point to somebody on screen and say, kind of thing. And she never disappointed. No big scandal, no dirty living, no you know the thing already. She never chased any of that. She's classy. She is really classy. Um that Lift Every Voice and Sing ahead of the Super Bowl at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Before the Chiefs and Eagles took the field, Cheryl Lee Ralph gave a soaring rendition of the song to cheers from the crowd. Nearby on the field was Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin and the first responders who saved his life after he suffered a cardiac arrest during a game in January. I don't know if y'all saw that game. He got hit and had a heart attack. The song last appeared at the Super Bowl in 2021 when a taped version of Alicia Keys' performance was played ahead of the game, right? I think we were in the pandemic, were we? Why would they have played that? I think so. But anyways, Shirley Ralph now joins an impressive list of celebrities or who have performed this, including Chris Stapleton during the national anthem, Kenneth Babyface Edmonds performing America the Beautiful, and Rihanna's Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show. Now, these three songs put together, to me, that shows a major effort by the NFL to be truly inclusive, is what this article says. To say that we're going to represent all people on a day, I got a beef with the NFL still. I'm still not gonna just brush over the whole Colin Kaepernick take a knee thing. But you know, that's how it is for us. We're easily bought and sold. I remember when Colin Kaepernick put his whole career on the line. Let's not forget him. And now, you know, they're trying to paint over it and rearrange history, recent history, as if, we didn't do anything wrong there. That never happened. Of all those teams in the NFL, they all turned their backs on Colin Kaepernick, this one person, because he decided to take a knee. And of course, people like Donald Trump was president at the time, and Trump were calling anybody who took a knee, these guys taking a knee, these sons of bitches. Remember that? Sons of bitches. And I was like, wow, he really, the president, called sons of bitches. If you're calling a man a son of a bitch, that's basically saying your mama is a bitch, you know? So that went pretty deep. That went pretty deep. Colin put everything on the line to simply say, for those who do not know what the knee down was about, because people got it so misconstrued and mixed up. The knee down was no disrespect to any troops or no disrespect to any military veterans. That's what they turned it into, saying that's what it is. And that's the reason why people like Fat Joe, I just kind of never vibe with Fat Joe stuff no more. I said it to him online and he responded and said it was a lie. That's not. So I don't know. I responded to him. I said it was a lie. What? It was a lie that they edited a video to make it look like you were saying that, or it was a lie that you're trying to say I'm telling a lie because I saw you on video. He was like, yo, I was rocking with Cap until I was rocking with Kaepernick. You know, they always in the culture until it's time to jump ship. And then it's like, yee, I ain't in on this one. And then when everything cooled down, they come back. Yo, we repping the culture. I saw Fat Joe's one of those, and I was very disappointed because I grew up on Fat Joe stuff. But Fat Joe was like, I was rocking with Kaepernick until I found out, you know what I'm saying, he was disrespecting the troops. I'm like, what? What the troops ever done to us? All they ever did was fight for our freedom. I was like, wow. Look at Fat Joe. This was a time for him to actually say, hey, I'm standing with Kaepernick, man. I understand what he's trying to say. It's not a disrespect to anybody. It's trying to get us to wake up to say, hey, there's a certain group. If we're the land of the free and the home of the brave, we can't just have that for just one set of people. And then we have all these atrocities happening to another set of people, right? At the hands of our law enforcement officials, and they're always getting away. Simple excuses. Hey, I feared for my life. I shot him 27 times. Okay. Did he have a gun? No. Why'd you shoot? He was reaching for something. What was it? His wallet. You told him driver license registration, please. Yeah, but I thought it was a gun. I saw the handle and I fired. And they got away with that all the time. That's what Colin Kaepernick was taking a knee for. He was like, yo, these officers have to start valuing Black lives because this is only happening to Black people by white officers. There was a stand that he took. Peaceful protest, which the right to peaceful protest is guaranteed to you under the constitutional laws of the United States of America. And even though it's guaranteed to you, you get out there and peacefully protest, I guess they have the right to abuse you when you exercise your constitutional rights as well. But with that said, my beef with the NFL was I'm not watching no more NFL games after this. And I didn't. I'm not supporting nothing that they do anymore. And I didn't. Hold on for a minute, Carla. I'm not supporting any more of their games, and I didn't. I don't want no NFL merchandise, and I didn't get none. None of that. Because I was taking a stance, and that's how I take my stance. My stance is you don't get my attention and you don't get my money. So it took a while, right? But here I am. I tuned into the Super Bowl, and it was one of those. And man, okay, it was with a bittersweet kind of taste, though. Should I be watching this? These are people I could ban forever. But I was there and I watched it, and I'll be honest with you, I liked it, and it was exciting and all that stuff, right? So it says that to me, that shows a major effort for the NFL to try to be inclusive. One thing they could have done to be inclusive was actually give Colin Kaepernick a chance to be back in the NFL. People just keep calling him and doing these tryouts and then like pretending, right? Doing these tryouts. Oh, he's coming back. Somebody is going to take him. And then nobody did. It's a group of men who own these teams that sit in a smoke filled room and they wield a lot of power. And these people, when they say no, it's no. And if they say yes, it's yes. So everything has to go before them. I was actually even reading up on owning a NFL team. So I was saying to myself, how come like Jay-Z got a whole lot of money? He's on a billionaires list. Kanye West, when he was on it, and we get to find out certain things. You can name a bunch of people. Just throw names out there. Denzel Washington, this person, that person, who has fame and millions of dollars. I said, why didn't they get together, pool their resources, and buy a couple of these teams? No. Even if you have the money to buy a NFL team, you come to the table with all the bread, all the money. I want that team. That decision still has to be okayed in that smoke-filled room by all the other people who owns teams. It's like moving into a community where you need an approval to move in by the committee that governs that community. Otherwise, you don't go through that gate. You don't get the codes to go in that gate. Security turning you back right at the gate. They don't care who you are. If you're not approved by the people in there. And I thought, wow, that says a lot because ain't no dark shades up in there. So that tells me that's why that rule was put in place. we all have to sit down and agree that this is how a new owner gets in. Even if you have all the money, even if you have all the money, imagine that having all the money, having good standing, you're famous, you've never been in trouble, you're a role model to even their children and their grandchildren. You know, they listen to your music or they watch you on TV, they think you're the best thing ever. They emulate you, they spend their money to buy merchandise that have your face on it, your name on it, all that. They tune in on television to watch you. But you can't own one of these teams. I don't give a damn how much money you have. You cannot own one of these teams. What does the house say? You. No, 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 no. Oh, it's a no. Bye. Wow. So anyhow, it's a bittersweet thing for me watching the NFL and anything that has to do with NFL. I just had to put that out there and let it be known that I'm very conscious of all that other side of things. But back to Cheryl Lee Ralph, and not to take away her glory, she stepped out and she did her thing, right? She met Rihanna ahead of the big day, and the singer encouraged Cheryl Lee Ralph to show up with a fab Fenty face. You know, that's what Rihanna is pushing now more than anything. Even in her performance last night, she stopped in the middle of it, took out her little Fenty thing, opened it up, did some of this. That thing that Rihanna did in the middle of her performance, it was like saying, this ain't really my bag, but I'm gonna show up for y'all. And it said that she didn't get paid. She didn't get paid to perform there. And I'm reading up, and it says most people that perform at the Super Bowl are not paid to perform at the Super Bowl. A lot of them actually pay the Super Bowl to perform there. It's like, hey, Super Bowl is a huge stage. I want to have a concert. It was said that The Weeknd paid $7 million of his own money to perform at the Super Bowl. Now, when you see them at the Super Bowl, you might think, you see, when you don't know how things work, when you see them at the Super Bowl, you might think, man, he must have got a $10 million check for that. No, he paid $10 million to perform there. Why do they do it? It is said they do it because it always works out good, monetary wise, for whatever singer does it. So it's like investing 7 million, I'll make back 70 million by the end of the year off of this, right? It's just an investment for them. You know, they said it takes 1,000 times to perfect something. So I'm up to about 799 is what she said. I'm going to keep on listening to my song and be ready to sing and make it happen on Sunday. I'm so excited, she said, of preparing. Oh my God. I was so nervous yesterday, I could hardly move. It was like classic nerves. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be sick. And I actually was sick. And I said, oh no, I'm that nervous. I made myself sick. This is Cheryl going through the motions, right? Remember, I told you it's not easy. See, a lot of people think it's easy, right? Mikhail, sing. Give me the mic. And you go up there. I tried it before. Mikhail, sing. Give me the mic. And you go up there. Trust me, when you hear all that rumbling in the crowd and you take that mic and that first, you know how the mic go and you tap it like this? When that whole, how much thousands of people go silent and you're that one little ant in the middle, boy, that can rack your nerves. And not to mention, you are on national TV. You are on prime time television, multi-million dollar space with all eyes on you. If you crack a bad note right now, that could mean the end of your career. That's the singer that messed up at the Super Bowl and sang that song like it was horrible. Yeah, moving on to the next one. We don't want to book her. It can be the end or it can be the beginning of something completely new. And I think for Cheryl Lee Ralph, this is actually the beginning of something new. She stepped into a new, you know, they say every level up comes with more, like a different bag of struggles to get there. Yeah, she unlocked a new level because I'm sure somebody is going to be calling her to sing that song again, right? She says, you know, you have that moment in life where you're like, what? Me? Me. They want me? to sing at the Super Bowl? Me? She was like, yeah, me. It's like standing outside of yourself, looking in on yourself, thinking of your whole life. Like, I remember I was a little girl growing up, and then I got to this, and I remember I had dreams. I never in my wildest dream thought this could be me. Me? You sure? Yes, 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 you. Rihanna is there, and they want me? Yes, for me? This is what she said she was saying through the whole award season. It's about the nomination. And for me, this is a nomination. So to be with those great artists and singers and performers, I'm going to accept what is to say about me because they would not have chosen me if they did not feel that I could not deliver. That's your greatness coming out, man. And sometimes it's going to take you like that, where you have to sit back and look and be like, I'm really me. That is me. Because it don't feel that way to you. It feel that way to other people. Ah, Cheryl Lee Ralph, there she is. But to you, it's like, me? I can't get used to this. Me? So this year's Super Bowl matchup, personal for Cheryl Lee Ralph. She was rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles as they take the Kansas City Chiefs. We already know how the rest of that turned out. The star is not only married to Pennsylvania Senator Vincent Hughes, she's hold on, I'll be right there. Let me finish this. The star is I didn't know this. Cheryl Lee Ralph is married to Pennsylvania Senator Vincent Hughes, and I did not know that her husband was also a senator in Pennsylvania. But she also stars on the hit ABC sitcom Abbott Elementary, which is set at a public school in the city of brotherly love. So she's on a show that is being filmed in a public school in Philadelphia, and she is married to Pennsylvania Senator Vincent Hughes. So of course she's invested in the Philadelphia Eagles support home team, right? Damn. She says, my husband was out in the community giving away Eagles gears and shirts. And he said, we're going to the Super Bowl. And at the end, I was like, how did you know? And he said, because we're in it to win it. Philly is truly represented. Philly is on a wonderful high with Abbott Elementary being based in Philly with the show that she's on. They see this as a wonderful last chapter of a new book that's going to be written, or maybe it's the first chapter. Here we go into the third season of Abbott Elementary because we get to fly Eagles. When Ralph's Super Bowl performance was announced, she received a congratulation from her Abbott co-star Lisa Ann Walter, who played second grade teacher Melissa Schmenti. Walter wrote on Twitter that Ralph was the perfect person to sing Lift Every Voice and Sing, and that was so proud of a moment for them. Now, again, shout out to Cheryl Lee Ralph because above all things that she is also a very proud Jamaican. I remember when she got her award the other day and somebody said, a foreign Shaban, I don't know why you know always a big up them foreign Jamaican here, them parents born in Jamaica, but not them. And I said, you need to do Cheryl Lee Ralph's history because even in Jamaica, her family is known. um, just go dig up our history and you're going to be surprised. She is born Jamaican. She can Lego the English and chat patois when she's ready. And she is very rooted in her roots. It's not one of those that went away and forgot and they don't even speak the dialect or can respond to the culture anymore. That's not her, right? So it's not a foreign Jamaican we are big up. It's a Jamaican that's doing big things in foreign that we are big up. Now, the song that she sang is actually, they call it the African American or the Black People's National Anthem. You know, we have, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? We have that one, and then which is broadly accepted as, and then you have lift every voice and sing. What she sang yesterday is actually known as Black People's National Anthem in the United States of America. So fitting for her to perform that as well. And I'm not gonna go too much into this part, but while she was performing it, I saw, because you know the crowd, the cameras are going around. So you can look at people's faces and tell. Some people were like just reserved, like this ain't my anthem kind of thing, but I'll give respect to it because it's the Super Bowl. I'm here. Some of the players look bothered, like, okay, hurry up and get this off so I could go play. But then when the person who sang the "Oh say can you see" was a country singer, right? And he did a wonderful job. I mean, hey man, he killed it. I don't even remember his name, but he killed it. Big beard and everything. That's when you saw certain people start crying and it resonated more with them, you know, than Cheryl Lee Ralph singing Lift Every Voice and Sing. But I saw who her Lift Every Voice and Sing resonated with, if you know what I mean. So that's that. So for those of you who didn't know, it's not just a gospel song, because that's what we have it as, especially in the Caribbean, as a gospel song. It's actually your African American national anthem. Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton. And my son, Kosi, is very much into country big time. And he was over there. I can't wait for Chris Stapleton to come on. Me and Jaden are like, he acting like this over a man. You know, we over there making fun of him. We like, he acting like this over a man. What man? But Chris Stapleton came on and he killed it. He did. He did. You know, I listen to country music too. I don't know, when I'm working in Texas, when you're working in a medical facility and you hear just the clean country music playing all day, it kind of like get to you. So eventually you start singing the songs and then you get to like it. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning. Sorry about that. I had to finish what I was saying first. Talk to me, no man. Lively, no man. I'm on, you know. Wake up with some energy, no man. Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Welcome.
Yeah. So I saw her sing the song with her voice.
Cheryl
It
Lee
was
Ralph.
good. It was low though. It was I guess because she sing mostly Broadway and that stuff, but it was a low key, but it was good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
ah. So you don't think she was? Well, you thought she should have hit more high notes
If she can manage it,
if
I
she
don't
can.
know. I don't hear her sing it often, so I'm not really sure if she's that kind of singer.
Right.
But
I was nervous for her too because I've never heard her sing except for in like the shows that she do, like on TV. You know, when them do a
yeah,
little one note and you're probably I said to yourself, say, maybe it's not her voice that she just lip sing it for that part there. So I wasn't sure if she
yeah.
could really sing.
But I knew I don't know what her range is, but I knew she could sing because Broadway is a place where if you can't sing,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, that's
That's the
true.
place where you can't fake nothing.
Yeah.
You have to really can sing.
True. True.
Um, but in terms of what Trump, and I didn't talk about it yet, but what Trump said about Rihanna,
Yeah, we're gonna get into that next. But talk your talk. What do you think about that?
I look, I have a tweet right here,
Mm-hmm.
or supposed female on a platform tweet.
All right, yeah, but not read out my thing yet. That's something I gonna know.
Uh,
What
so I,
what what was your opinion on what he said?
what was why it's funny to me.
Mm,
You said Chris Stapleton. I don't even know who that man is.
yeah.
But I saw the white man, the this white coach crying, look like him
Once him start
wife
sing, right?
dead or something.
Mm-hmm.
Tears in eye. People look like them see sit like them see God are sitting, them a cry, them a shake.
Mm-hmm.
And when Ralph was singing, it was like, as you say, it was like a
Like hurry up
throw in
and
the
get this
park.
over, please, so I can go play ball, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like when their own does well and performs. It's a great occasion. It was fabulous. But
Mm-hmm.
when we perform, it's like, all right, up now, come,
Yeah.
done,
Yeah. I
go
saw
on,
that.
play football.
Mm-hmm.
And what he said is more to what he retweeted.
Right.
You ever read it, but I just have to say that this this guy who he retweeted was so wrong, and it's for me is racially motivated. He wouldn't be saying this about anybody else. He doesn't say he says about any Democrat or any liberal who goes to sing and oh they said stuff about America. No. Why is it only us? Why is it only when it come on to we and
You,
our issues?
yeah, you know them not like we already. I could just keep it loud and clear. I saw it go.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's why I say we have to learn to support us more. We should have a ball when time Cheryl sing, just like how them did a ball when time Chris sing, because that's how dear they hold theirs. But we rather jump
that's
over
true.
there and go hold for them dear with them too, instead of
Yeah.
holding our own dear to
And
us. You know what I mean?
even though it's not our game,
Mm-hmm.
for me none of this is ours. All of these things are modern day plantations, but
Mm,
don't different something.
mm,
Even though when I see them us here, I kinda feel mixed
mm-hmm.
in my emotions. It's still a good look because somebody's recognizing us. I don't know. Maybe it's not the right person. And overall it's not the right place for anybody to be, the black person to be. But this is all we have right now.
We in a different time
It,
and space to remember that technology has taken over. So in real time, people were in many other countries across the world paying attention too. So, you know, and not just who used to recognize we before when we know and never care about we, but just put we in there just because, okay, let's diversify because they say we need to. So let's stick one of them in here and have them sing this song. It's not that no more. If you look around, the landscape has changed and they're really trying to keep up. Actually, the
yeah,
landscape has
with the
changed. The
with who they
tables
have
are turning. The
see,
tables are turning. Yeah, the
yeah,
landscape
but
has changed and the tables are turning.
well, let's see. I mean, they told they treat Colin, but they treat Kyrie.
Mm-hmm. Cause them
For
still
me,
wield
that
big
doesn't
power.
change. That's
Them
I
still
don't
wield
know.
big power. But here what? A time gone by, Colin take a knee and wouldn't have no foot left.
That's true.
Yeah. Or we could go.
But
We could come further up in time. Time gone by, Colin took a knee. He would have been front page news a couple months after because he was found in a hotel room with cocaine all over his face and a gunshot wound to the side of his head with the hand, the gun laying there. So he committed suicide or something.
mm,
You
yeah,
get what me I say? Yeah.
yeah.
So things are changing as much as they look like they're not changing. It's just a slow grinding change.
Even back
Yeah.
in the day when they had protests in the Olympics, back in the
Mm-hmm.
70s and 80s, people protested in the Olympics
Mm-hmm.
when they got the gold and silver medal. Two black I think they were high jumpers or long jumpers protested. They didn't pledge for the anthem. They put up their black
The
fist
track
and
and
just
field
hold on their
athletes,
head.
the track and field athletes that put up them fists,
Yeah,
yeah, and they held that against them for the rest of their lives.
yes, they did.
Hmm.
Mm.
But I saw it go
So
for us, but we keep moving forward.
just
You
keep
know,
it pushing.
yeah,
That's all we can do.
true that. All right, big
All
up
right,
yourself here.
all right.
All right. Um, Karen Notice says it hasn't turned yet. Yeah, it hasn't turned yet, but it is turning. And that's the important part. It's not at a standstill, it's turning. Hasn't turned yet, but it is turning. So always look at the glass half full because a lot of people sacrifice and put in, and it's just up to those who are left to build on top of that, stand on the shoulders of giants and keep on building and keep on going forward and no matter with this is it for us because it's not. It's slow progress, but it's better than no progress. Just like how we tell the youth them say, slow money is better than no money. Not true? Right. Go hold a 9 to 5. That little fast something the way I run down. Cause you think slow money doesn't do it. There's a lot of people out here raising families on slow money, stacking slow money, dollar by dollar, tightening their belts and chopping the thing up and making it work. And they don't get to see the inside of a prison and all these other early grave shot down in streets and all these things. So this stuff that you're chasing, trying to get because you think fast is better. Yeah, it's a fast way to prison. It's a fast way back to a modern day plantation, which is prison. It's actually written in the Constitution. Let me remind you again that you are free until you commit a crime and you become a ward of the state or you are owned by the state again. That's why they recognize you now as a number instead of your name and all that other stuff. And they can do whatever they want to do to you in there. Test medication upon you slash this, that, and the other. And so once you go behind those walls, it's like, don't volunteer to go there because that's like volunteering to say, I've been practicing, master. I was ready to go back. So yeah, you got plantation around here. I could pick some cotton on. Don't go back. Don't go back. Try your best not to. People have ended up there that didn't deserve to be there, but you try your best not to, right? So slow progress. Slow progress. Better than no progress at all. With that said, let's talk about the Donald Trump. Okay, so here's first of all, before the Super Bowl even happened, Trump had already put out about Rihanna's. He said that she should be replaced before it even happened. He said she was talentless and should be replaced. So it was no shock to see that he had some adverse comment after her performance. He didn't like her from before the performance. Now, I don't know what beef they have behind the scenes, but I know he don't like her. Rihanna, by the way, 2022 is listed on Forbes list as the youngest self-made billionaire in the United States of America. You see when she came out and doing the singing thing, and then she stopped in the middle of the singing thing and opened her Fenty makeup something and went like that. She's pretty much letting you know that that's where my money at right now. You know, it's in the make sure you go support that the makeup line and you know the lingerie and all that other stuff I got going on. And I got many bags. And she give back the makeup thing to the person, took her microphone back, and she kept on going. This is stuff that a lot of people might not like to see. Y'all mother effers went from plantations to billionaire list. How you do that? After all the stuff that I was trying to do to make sure you didn't even make it to 1,000-year list. Why you on the billionaire list though? You got to understand the angles to this, right? I believe who wrote for Trump at some art show on a vehicle. I believe she wrote F Trump at some art show on a vehicle. Oh my, because she is rich. He wishes his daughter was like her. Hmm. There's a whole lot of stuff to this, okay? That position you're in, that ninja girl, that position she's in, that should be for Tracy. Yeah, we gotta figure out how we can take that away and give it to Tracy. I Tracy them daughter name, me don't know, but me not call it real daughter name cause people move funny. Former President Donald Trump lashed out at pop star Rihanna after her widely acclaimed halftime performance at the 2023 Super Bowl. Mr. Trump posted on Truth Social, epic fail. That's that's what he listed her performance as, epic fail. Rihanna, this is what he said, Rihanna gave without question the worst halftime Super Bowl show in history. If you can imagine, right? You can imagine with him turn up the spray and orange thing where him have it turn up and the piece of toupee a flap. The worst in history. He says this was the single worst halftime show in Super Bowl history. He continued though. He didn't stop there. He continued. He said, this after insulting far more than half of our nation, which is already in serious decline with her foul and disgusting language. In a final attack, he wrote also, so much for her stylist, because the red suit wasn't suiting. It wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. It wasn't giving Donald the vibes. See? So the man say our stylist needs to go because she have on Kirby. Her performance is shite. It's the worst NFL halftime performance in the history of the NFL. And her foul mouth, disrespecting and insulting more than half of our nation, which is already in serious decline. Oh, what did she say? Come here, rude boy, can you get it up? Come here, boy, is it big enough? Take it, Rihanna, turn around and slap our body so. Pie! Come here, rude boy. I can't sit up with him. Champagne glass. He was like, ninjas. Come here, rude boy, can you get it up? Hi. He's like, I can't get it up. I got mad. Is it big enough? I'm freaking mad. Insulting. How insulting. Why did they put this on our television screen? The foul and insulting language Mr. Trump refers to is likely a reference to a photo that was taken in August of 2020 in which Rihanna posted in front of a piece of art that featured a car with the words F you you know the rest Trump painted on it. And she, okay, so that's where the beef is. That's what it is. Donald have no vibes for black women anyway. Boy, Patty Barron a lie, you know. I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of them act like that. Wait. We'll get into that in a minute. Earlier this week, the former president had already lashed out at Rihanna, who chose to use her performance not just to showcase her greatest hits, but also to reveal that she is pregnant with her second child. And he wrote, without her stylist, she'd be nothing. And then after that, he wrote, bad everything, no talent. The man said, without her stylist, she'd be nothing. And then bad everything with no talent. Bad everything with no talent. Mr. Trump posted about the singer and fashion mogul in response to another Truth Social post from Texas Congressman Ronnie Jackson, Mr. Trump's former White House doctor. Rihanna spray painted F U blank blank Donald Trump on a car at the Cadillac Ranch in Amarillo, this in Texas. He wrote that on Thursday. She's made a career of spewing degenerate filth while bad mouthing America every chance she gets. Why is the NFL showcasing this crap? Rihanna should not be the halftime performer. In 2020, Riri visited a famed Cadillac Ranch outside roadside attraction in Texas, and a series of photos of her spraying a half-buried car with the words F that black that Trump captioning the picture art, and it looked like this is what they holding her up for. Since then, well, it was her actually. They have the picture right here. It was her actually spray painting it, and it was it was actually her spray painting it. She's right there, and she was spray painting the F Trump onto the car. Now, throughout Trump's administration, Rihanna mocked and criticized the president online, including resharing a video that appeared to show First Lady Melania Trump refusing to hold Donald Trump's hand and suggesting that she was a Rihanna fan. That's why Riri reposted the picture and said, "Look, not even your woman wants to hold your hand. I bet she's a Rihanna fan too." I bet she's a Rihanna fan too. So I guess they've been taunting each other, going back and forth, you know, and he has a voice because he is former President Donald Trump. Somebody actually says Rihanna's performance could not have been any worse than the 4 year performance Trump attempted at the White House, and that he does at his what he does at his rallies. And I haven't heard her ask once, "How's my ratings?" LOL. Ah, anyways, so beautiful to watch her body change in pregnancy, vibrant youth, and that to read that pathetic slur of this obese, old, impotent ex-president. One consolation: by the time the child is grown up, the old fart will be obsolete and no longer here. So Rihanna has millions and millions of fans. So if you go online and try to read what they said in response to Donald Trump, it's not going to be pretty, right? And most of it I can't even read here because they went off. They went off. Well, one good thing: by the time that baby is grown up, the old fart will be obsolete and no longer here. The next one says, "This is what it would have been like in the 60s if your granddad had access to social media and TOTP came on." Rihanna is excellent at winding Trump up, and he responds like a firework every time. His fans can do nothing but grunt and wave their buds at the giant TV in their redneck bar. And it goes on and on. So, yeah, Riri came out pregnant. Who knew she was pregnant? I did. As soon as she came out, I knew. I didn't know before, but as soon as she came out, I said I was being a bit iffy because it's not wise to just jump out. Men, listen, it's not wise to just jump out and be like, oh man, she looked pregnant, she put on a whole heap of weight. The woman just had a baby not too long ago. So when you go, oh, you put on a whole heap of weight, you're pregnant again, that woman might say, no, I'm not, it's just the baby weight from whatever, but then she takes it. Some women internalize this and they take it, right? And then she go back home, go wrestle with it. Oh my God, I can't get off the baby weight. People are chat about me, say me overweight, this, that, and the other. So you could be doing like a little bit of damage more than good. So I was being real skeptical when Riri came out. But then I was like, nah, Rihanna is a professional. With She can afford living chef. She can afford a living what would you call it? A coach, a fitness coach. And that's how they do. They One part of the mansion has a whole apartment complex for their chef and for their fitness coach and whatever. And they're like, come on, we're gonna be at the Super Bowl this year. We gotta get that body tight. Let's go running now. Eat all these carrots and tomatoes, and that's what you're gonna feed on for the next couple of days or a couple of weeks, whatever. That's they can afford that. So there's no way she would come out looking that, because if she wasn't pregnant, she looked really like belly bloated kind of thing. And I was like, nah, she would never do the Super Bowl in that condition if she had just gained weight and put on all that outfit that it was like rows and rows, layers and layers of some red something mixed with some red something. And I'm waiting for her to take all the something off. At least drop the jacket, Riri. May I say at least drop the jacket, at least take off, unzip this. All through it, you saw that baby, yeah, Donna Davis. All through it, you saw that belly. And I was like, she pregnant. She pregnant, but she not saying it. And then, of course, it's been confirmed by her reps by this morning that Rihanna is pregnant with her second child. ASAP means ASAP. That boy living up to his name. ASAP, as soon as possible. ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky was like, one come out, gone in again. Two in the oven. And I'm sure Rihanna's probably saying to herself as well, you know, strike the iron while it's hot. This is the time. We got everything in place. What more am I waiting for? Always wanted to be a mom. I got my finances in order. I got uku buku bucks, so I'm not worried about money raising my children. And I'm not that busy anymore. As in, I have a tour schedule and I have to be in France, Germany, Italy, Spain, this, that, flight. I'm stable right now, so I think it's time to. And then probably over there talk like this, right? Yeah, have them close together. We're gonna go for two, and we're gonna have them close together, so that means they can be each other's company. Don't leave the baby out there lonely and these kind of things. And then ASAP Rocky just shoot up the club, bam, 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 and breathe again, breathe again. He was there. He was there celebrating and showing off. And yeah, I'm not blaming my woman is a billionaire, self-made billionaire, and all these things. I think Riri is in her 30s, like mid 30s. You could go look it up how old she is. But usually at that age, it's like, okay, it's time. And I remember her saying she don't need a man for like to have her children. If she chooses to have children and a man wasn't available that she was locked in with, that she would probably still go ahead and find some way to get it done. Well, she got somebody that she's locked in with and they're doing it. So 34, there you go. So it's at that age. Hey, shout out to older women having children. I learned one thing when I was in school, and it was that Down syndrome, there is no known scientific cause for Down syndrome. I don't know if y'all know this. The only correlation they have to Down syndrome is women giving birth to babies over 40 years old. So women hit 35 and they're like, oh, come on, let's go. Time's ticking. My eggs are drying up. I need to have me one. That's some women, right? And hey, my kids are 2 years apart. She says, well, y'all know Kai Kai and Milani, they're close as well because Shakira did her thing too. And they're growing up, pretty close. They fight each other a lot. Rihanna, Milani be beating his ass, and but I don't think it's because he can't beat her back. I think it's because I tell him that if you hit my daughter, I'm gonna spank you behind or something like that. But coming to want him go punch her with a boy punch, but later on she's gonna learn because the day is gonna come where he is going to punch her with a boy punch. It might ease our fight a little bit, but sometimes you have to make your sister know, say, all this time I was just letting you do it because you my sister. And dad said girls go first, and I mustn't hit you because you're a girl or whatever. You see what I did to our other brother? I could have done that to you too. You see me, I said, swell up in my eye. Can't do that to you, But your sister will always take liberties, right? She box you on. Bye. Daddy said, ah! And the first thing I'm running over there thinking is, what's wrong with my daughter? Hey, Kai, make sure your sister is not crying. Be a good brother. Take care of your sister. Blah blah blah. Sister is gonna come that day where he might have to give her one of these, right? But I hope I don't know time soon. It's also teaching him to be protective of her Kaitai Jai. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's teaching her to be able to depend on him because she knows that he'll defend her, and it's teaching him to be, yeah, protective of her as well, which is needed. So yeah, them my bias. D-Mac, and no man that have daughters could tell me different. If you have daughters and you have sons, you can't tell me different. You ain't no man that's going to sit around and allow his sons to just push over him daughter and punch her and lick her back and all this. You probably be like, especially if you're from the Caribbean, you're probably gonna be like, stop the crying, man. Is that little girl lick you? What happened? Come on, shake it off or something. But you're not gonna be like, lick her back. When she lick you, you must lick her back. Nah, boy, you better not hit my daughter. But daddy, she punched me in my eye. Okay, shake it off. But you better not lick her back. That's what I'm saying. Right? Hey, true story. True story. Uh, so Kosi and Jaden, right? Them two are the two of my kids that are close because Kosi is 14, Jaden is 15. See? So, but Jaden always been like a fighter, and Jaden is like Jaden used to go to school and just fight people and just punch up people, pick me and stuff. He had a lot of in him, and he's scrappy. And he used to be scrappier than his brother, but then Kosi start grow, right? Right now, Kosi is 6'3", 300 pounds, size 16 shoes in men. He's big. He's a big guy. I seen a man said the other day, I used to play football and I was a big guy, and here's my pictures, and in my show me picture them at the car place. I went to go get my car service, and I said, oh, I got a 14-year-old that's bigger than you, right? When you used to play football. Because he's like, I'm not that big anymore. So I pull out my picture and show my 14-year-old. And he was looking at me and he was like, this him? He's 14? I'm like, yeah. He was like, wow. He's 14? Well, him asked about 3 times, he's 14? I'm like, yeah, he's 14. He's like, wow. So anyway, Kosi and Jaden in the garage, right? One day. And I used to leave them sometimes. I make them work out them issues, right? As long as they're not in there killing each other. I would listen from a distance. So Jaden used to always beat up Kosi. But Kosi wasn't the type to fight back. See, he used to go to school and get bullied and all this. I'm saying no, I said any day that baby giant there, this this I'd say he was gonna fight back, is gonna be some problems. And I'm gonna have to be close by to part it. All right, the day came. They in the garage. All me here is rumblings are rumblings, right? And you hit me first, blah, blah, blah. I'm hitting you back, blah, blah. Next thing we hear, help, help, dad, help. And I go in there, and that baby giant was responding. That baby giant was laying hands, right? Got him by one and laying hands. And I was like, oh, damn. I said, don't you ever hit your damn brother like that. Now, mind you, all this time, the man I take beat up, me not running and talk about, don't you ever, But when that baby giant responded, I was like, don't you ever hit your damn brother like that again. And I went out the garage and I went to my own little corner and I laughed my ass off. I was like, yo, it's not killing me in there. But hey, the joys of raising kids, man. You also have to teach her not to hit her brother. Yeah, I do. I teach her not to hit her brother as well, for sure. Because I don't want him growing up thinking, and I teach him to hit back, but not her. It's complicated. It's complicated. But I don't want her growing up thinking it's okay to lay hands on a man or a male, because you know how the rest of that goes. I've seen guys who don't really hit females, but she gave him a hot box, and the rest was like a two-piece with no biscuit type of thing. And people are, oh, but she should have kept her hands to herself. So I don't want her growing up thinking that it's okay to just slap up anybody, including her brother as well. You're right, and I do. Complicated right now. Right now, she just get away with anything because she's the little princess. And then as she get older, I'll try to taper that off and try to bring her. I did the same thing with her sister. She could. The boys will tell you like she gets away with everything. She could do no wrong. Now she is 8, going on 9, and now she is just recognizing that you're going to be held accountable for some things and you don't do some things. So now I start to do that, right? The boys, that was from out the gate. From you 2 years old, you under manners, but not my girls. Not my girls. That's just how it is. So I go. I tell my daughter, don't give lick. If you can't take lick. Yeah, she too little for that now. Right now, she giving lick. And and I'm just making sure nobody lick her back. That's where we at with it. We'll taper it off and get there when we get there. So the last story for the morning now. I always tell my kids to hit back because I can't fight for them outside of the home. Outside of the home. Hey, if they want to go fight each other, that's good on them. Drake and Chris Brown seen baby bump and start cry. LOL, LMA. Drake, hey, King Biggs. Drake and Chris Brown seen baby bump and start cry. Chris actually posted something that says "Go girl" or "You go girl" or something like that. Who knows? The media has it that they're not friends and them are enemies and all this, but I bet you they actually are cordial behind the scenes. I mean, who knows? I know that ASAP Rocky is actually friends with Chris Brown, and he's also friends with Drake, and they hang out together. So, but hey, that's one that they let go, right? That little singing girl from the Caribbean, she's just another booty, another cute face in the industry. Uh-huh. And then that one became that one. And now people are probably like, damn, I should have locked in. When I had the chance, I should have wifed her. I didn't know she was gonna be a billionaire. I didn't know she was gonna spiral into all this. I should have locked in. But that's how it goes. You miss one, right? She missed one. They missed one. They missed the opportunity. And if you look at it, they probably did. None of them have any body that they're like so committed to that they'll turn into wife and family with and all this other stuff. Drake got a child. Chris got a child. But that's about it. You don't see them showing up to events with their wife, like how ASAP Rocky shows up to every event with Rihanna and this kind of stuff. And he got something to show off. He got something to show off. It's like Jay-Z when people say, "Oh, you ugly." He's like, "Yeah, but my wife is Beyonce, and you don't look nothing near." Or, uh, mm, uh, argument done, kind of thing. Stella Gray Passmore, big up yourself. Thank you. I appreciate you. That's why they have older siblings and cousins. She had stopped him from using her song on his campaign. That's a could be about money and could be about team. I don't know. I do the same thing with my daughters and sons. Like make sure that they don't get hit. The girls are pampered or protected. Always tell my kids to hit because all right, Sean, brutal then, bro. And kids back then, we was terrible whenever we see the NYPD car coming. I had my last child at 39, and I was a geriatric patient. It was my worst pregnancy. Onika St. John Jones said, I had my last child at 39, and I was a geriatric patient, and it was my worst pregnancy. Geriatric or bariatric? Geriatric means older population, and bariatric is severely overweight kind of thing. When we get a bariatric patient, you got to break out the bariatric bed. The bed is like it's like a king size bed on wheels in the hospital. That's where you put like the 500-pound people and stuff. I think you meant bariatric. Well, let me say it again. Because we like have fun, but we like to do a little bit of educating. And you could go look up the rest of this on your own. But please don't just go looking at anybody that says anything. There are actually med sites, vetted med sites online on Google. So go to one of the vetted med sites backed by one of these vetted institutions and look it up. There's no correlation scientifically. Nobody knows why people are born with Down syndrome. Of course, they know the basics about XY and somebody get 12 one and not enough of that or whatever, but there's no scientific correlation why that happens other than women having children at a later age. No SouFLo, I'm 150 pounds, LOL. Geriatric? I don't know. Maybe they use that in a different light because I always tell people I work in a geriatric, I work with the geriatric population in OT, which means the elderly. You're not elderly. You're 39. So it's past a certain age. It's not elderly. Well, for us, it's elderly. St. John, I was 41 with Madison because we are giving birth at an old age. Ah, so what y'all try to say? Them consider 40 old? Oh, that's what they call women past 35 who are having baby. Ah, well, see, because it means old. I was too after 36. Yeah, when you reach 36, when you're giving birth past 30. Ah, it's called a geriatric. So it's an old pregnancy. It's an old woman they have picnic. Is what them call it. So ladies, after 35, you're considered an old woman having children. Hmm. Interesting. Karen Glass, I appreciate you. Thank you. Yo, no. Stella Gray passport. You silly. Stella Gray passport said he talking about grab them by the pussy. LOL. LOL. Yup, the family telling us our eggs are about to expire with your old pregnancy. Old woman having babies. That explains why. I never used to understand why women hit certain age and they're like, my clock's ticking, my eggs are drying up. I mean, it's getting there. And I want a baby, but I just can't. I'm not in a relationship, and I don't want to be out here being a single mom. I want to. Now me know why. Oh, great front time. Woo! Great front time. Lesser step. No behavior. Lesser step say a great front time. Woo! She ever top, me sure everything done that's still good. None beat hold on. None beat my record of performing and post delivery EKG on a woman 50 years old. Rotted. Would you want to be having a baby at 50? Let's not Steph said not at all, still tight. At whatever age they should respect women giving birth. Michelle Howell, that's true. Because only y'all can do it. We can't do it. Not one of we can get pregnant. Me never see a man breed yet, and that's not the way how we were set up by the Almighty, or by the Most High, or by nature, or by the creator of nature, or the controller of nature, however you want to take it. Uno alone can do it. So yeah, I respect every woman that is able to bring forth. My respect is not less for those who aren't, but I respect every woman that is able to and does bring forth life. Without them, it would be the earth would wither up, population die out. We would be like the dinosaurs we were once here, kind of thing. I wonder what other species will take over though. Diana Ross had many babies at a very old age. Well, everybody is not Diana Ross. So everybody is not Diana Ross. And yeah, and that too. Where you go? You ever see them picnic here when them take off a run? All them little 2-year-old here. Like, you can't keep up with my daughter. If my daughter let loose outside, you can't keep up with my daughter and she's 2. You can't keep up with Kai. Kai is 4 and Kai is fast. By the time you say, hey boy, come here, I'm reaching, I want a different part of you reaching, I want a different part of the house. By the time you look around, you hear bang bang. Ah, you like, oh God, this you God almighty, me need them. I forgot, come here. I forgot around there. Why not around there? Cause you can't reach around there, right? So you gotta scream instead. What not around there? It's one the mashing up around there. Come here. Cause you can't go around there yourself. Bend down and can't get up. No, sir. Why not if you can? Hey, to each his own, man. If you want to have them all when you're 99, go right ahead. I don't care. It's your business. I'm just saying. There's no scientific correlation between Down syndrome and babies being born with Down syndrome. There's nothing else except the only common thing that they have is that they were born to mothers who gave birth to children past a certain age. That's that. So that's one thing to think about and consider if you're up in age and you're still deciding. It's never too late if you're one of them kind of people that it's never too late. 50 years old. I think I can still do it. Just remember that that's what science says. See? One of my sister had her only child at 48 and she's tired all the time. Woo! I think 48 is probably around the age where you start deciding. I don't reach 48 yet, but 48, I'm pushing up there. 48 is around the time where you probably start deciding. Your body start talking to you more than you. You know, when you're younger, you can talk to your body. That's when you go all night and party and everything, and you know you got work in the morning, right? And you got to clock in at 8 o'clock. 7 o'clock, y'all left the party. Your house that close by. You're gonna run through the shower. You're not showering, or y'all run through the shower, put on some clothes while you're, hey, I'll be there in a minute kind of thing. You run into the parking lot, you jump in the car, you drive, whoo, made it. You finished that whole bottle of Hennessy last night, just you and 2 friends. Y'all drunk as hell. You trying to make sure nobody smell you on the job. You won't be sober on this job until about midday, like lunchtime. Y'all pray for lunchtime come, cause you know you need to eat something and these things. You can't do that stuff no more. You can't do that no more. Them the age there, you have to plan your evenings. And even when you plan your evenings, you end up half of the time reconsidering. Is it really worth going out tonight? Because you know, I think I got more valuable or more. I think I got other things that I need to be putting my energy into, kind of thing. Can I start drop asleep early already? So she having a baby 48 and she always tired. You can't keep up. That child will run you into the ground. Okay, that's aerobics mixed with all the other stuff where you go gym for. Yeah, have a child at 48. You'll be slim for life. But some people don't want to picnic early. Some people do, like they consciously make this decision to put everything else in place first, right? Especially their finances. And they want this dream partner have to find the right person, and my finances got to be in order because I came up poor and I don't want my child to experience this and all this other stuff. Some people do that. And then others like us, start to have baby or make baby from we broke and young. And we fight we fight our way through. I told y'all before I used to have to pawn my stuff. I was telling that to my sons the other day, and they're like, "What? We had no idea." And I'm like, "That's the goal. It was for y'all to have no idea." But now I'm picking them, I grow up, I think, damn, the light got cut off again. Open the fridge. Damn, no food in here. Then they start looking at each other. Why he had to have so many of us? Can't even feed us. I didn't want that. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm okay.
All
I
right.
have a quick story to tell you.
All right.
It's based on African spirituality.
I love this accent. Where this
Um,
accent from? Trinidad.
Trinidad,
Yeah,
yes.
that Trinidad. See, I'm telling you. I can recognize that accent anywhere. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Tell me the story.
Um, okay. Yeah, so I think what I heard was money and babies was in heaven having a conversation saying who would come first. So
Mm-hmm.
then babies decide they will go first.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they get down to earth, there was no finances to sustain them. So they died, then went back to heaven. Then I guess God asked them, why are you guys back here? They said there were no resources
Mm-hmm.
to take care of them. So then the next time, money decided that they would go first,
Mm-hmm.
and then babies will come after. And that's how it happened.
So what
And that is an African spirituality. I heard this story for the first time, I think was 2 weeks ago.
so what they're saying is money should come first and then baby.
I think what they're saying is
Uh-huh.
make sure that you provide, you have stuff before you bring them in. That's what they're trying to say.
Right, and it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
All right.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.
Yeah, that makes sense. I ain't telling nobody to have no baby pan broke pocket because them expensive and you will end up why them expensive. Shout out to those who did and found a way to make it work, especially those who found a way to make it not impact their kids so much. Cause you know most of we grew up and we never really have it. You knew that you didn't have it. Cause your mother never itch for make you know say you did. Oh no, no, name out the whole like something there, man. Me not have no more money. Any which part it stop and that's how it done. And the one bread make it last all week. Me have a bread and name off the bread in a 2 day. Beer bumper ass cost in the house after that. Drink off the gallon of milk in a 2 day. More bumper ass cost after that. Like and now I just tell my kids like, yo, whatever you see in the fridge, eat it. Whatever you see in the house, it's yours. Whoever gets to it first, there's no order. And one thing we don't argue about around here is food, right? Cause them used to have them own special thing. Mommy used to say, this this is mine. Like this crab salad is mine. Okay, this is the only thing I have. The rest of this is for Uno. But we are look for our thing I look to. It's like it's the same thing. It's the same thing that you used to eat. Remember me telling you, my mother is a skilled person at survival. See, one bag of chicken and that one bag of 10 pound bag of chicken or however many pounds that weighed, 20 pounds, however, you're getting brown stew chicken Monday, curry chicken Tuesday, baked chicken Wednesday, fried chicken Thursday, chicken soup Saturday, and something again, chicken on Sunday, mix up, and you're gone back again, and we rotate that out. And that's how you survive raising your children, right? I didn't want my children to feel that. So now, food in abundance. Nobody asks no question. Nothing in there is special. If you bring your stuff and put it in our fridge and it's special, you better eat it fast because anybody go in there first and like it, me give them permission to nyam it or drink it. As long as it's in there, we just go get more. So yeah, baby, money first. It would be my advice, even though I did not take that advice. The struggle was great. So don't do it. But however, we don't control time, and everything I believe happens in divine order. So babies come to poor people, and then poor people's situation change over time, and they become financially stable, and the babies are there to experience that journey to go from having nothing to actually having something. And these are the babies that end up being the frugal ones, the wise ones when it comes to because them that just take everything for granted. They're like, I remember when we never used to have nothing. My mom or my dad didn't start making good money until I was like 13, 14, and I left for college at 18. So I only had like 4 good years. Uh, the rest of my years growing up, we were broke as hell. We had to do this and do that. So it's a life experience kind of thing. I think if the creator wants you to have that kind of experience for whatever reason, then that experience will present itself in your life. You weren't born with a gold spoon in your mouth for some reason or the other. The people before you just never put things in line. Them just, the wine did good. So here you are. The joke did good. So here you are. You did real good. So see your brother there. And then see your sister there. And then your daddy couldn't stop because he wholly good. So see one next one there. So it's just like a holy pounder, and we did broke. And we never have social media at the time, so we did have each other. Grocery bills for the month, $900 for 2 children. Me don't know who do that. BM. $900 for grocery bills? You must be talking Jamaican money. For 2 kids? Nah, man. I can't. Not anyhow. Listen, last story for the morning, right? There's a thing. Let's switch from the baby thing. My son used to eat everything in the fridge and cupboards. They eat a lot. Yeah, yeah. I believe you. I believe you. I'm a person. I like to buy my stuff fresh. Cause I feel like the stores are gonna run out of anything. So I'm not the type to like buy stuff and store them up too much. So you'll probably catch me at one of these grocery stores like 5 days out of the week. Probably 4 or 5 days out of the week. And I try not to, but every time me go, $75, $150, $95, $99, $120, and a US dollars, So this add up. And by the time the end of the week come and you add that up, you're like, rotted. I just spent like $300-400 this week on just food, and that's just 1 week, right? So yeah, I may talk foolishness, but I could relate. I could relate. These kids eat, especially if you have teenagers. Man, good luck to you, boys. Good luck. Now I know what my mom was going through. Good luck. Me and my brother killed that gallon of milk, and she buy the milk Monday. By the time Tuesday afternoon come, the milk they're done, and it's the gallons, and we drinking it by the gallons. So you could just imagine, right? The bread did a whole jar of peanut butter, because we used to have to eat what was there. We didn't have these choices. So if I one bread did, we just done the one bread in a 2 day. Done the whole buckle of peanut butter in a 2 day with the bread and the gallon of milk. Our poor thing, she was frustrated. But hey, that's life, man. That's life. All right. Moving along, right? This is our last thing for the morning. So this, I told y'all, man, Jamaica will forever be going through what we're going through, as far as criminals and crime goes, because they're not truthful. The people who are in positions of power are not truthful. So this Paula Llewellyn lady, I don't really I've seen Paula Llewellyn be shady in so many different instances. I don't have anything personal per se against the woman because she has never done anything to me, but I've seen instances where it was blatant. It was like somebody put her in that position to do what she does, and she does it well to please those people. Check out that story here. So, Director of Public Prosecutions, or DPP, Paula Llewellyn, she has admitted now that the St. Catherine man that was handed a 4-year sentence for illegal possession of firearm and ammunition last Friday was actually indicted under the wrong section of the Firearms Prohibition Act that was passed in November. That Firearms Prohibition Act passed in November specifically stated the judge will have no bargaining room. If you get caught with a gun that is not registered to you by the FLA, it is considered an illegal gun and you are going to prison for a minimum of 15 years. Of course, if they find a body on the gun or you shoot and wound somebody with it but they didn't die, all other kinds of variables could add more time to the 15. But the starting sentencing point is 15. The same way how they're trying to push through now that 45 will be the mandatory minimum for anybody that goes in for murder. All right. We said back then, I hope they give that same thing to their higher ups, friends, and cronies. The error resulted in 28-year-old Dennis Mundell. I mean, want to know who Dennis Mundell is and who he's connected to. But the error resulted in 28-year-old Dennis Mundell being given a discretionary sentence that drew the ire of hundreds of social media users and triggered some criticism of the judiciary system. Mundell's sentence of 4 years and 6 months, each for unauthorized possession of firearm and unauthorized possession of ammunition, was also inconsistent with the government's touted mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years in prison. He got 4.5 for the ammunition, 4.5 for the gun. Run it concurrently, he'll do 4.5 years, probably get out in good time with good behavior or whatever, because there's no, you must do the whole 4.5, right? What happened to the 15? So in a Gleaner interview over the weekend, Paula Llewellyn now disclosed that Mundell, who was the first person to be sentenced under the new law, should have actually been indicted under the Section 5 of the Act instead of Section 45. Law jargon. In the Gleaner interview at the weekend, Llewellyn disclosed that Mundell should have been, okay, so they mess up. What she said is they prosecuted him under the wrong part of the law. Senior Deputy DPP Jeremy Taylor has been assigned to lead a team of prosecutors in reviewing all charges under this section. Section 5 outlines that no one should be in possession of a prohibited weapon and that anyone who contravenes that order commits a felony, and will be sentenced to life imprisonment, nothing less than 15 years. In other words, if you get found with a gun, nothing less than 15 years. Prohibited weapon is defined in the law as any prohibited firearm, any grenade, any bomb, or any other missile, or any other missiles or missile launchers. Meanwhile, prohibited firearm, among with others, is defined as any firearm in respect to which no firearm authorization is granted under Part V or under the law of another jurisdiction. Part V of the Act speaks to a firearm authorization from the Firearm Licensing Authority or the FLA. Section 45 of the Act, on the other hand, outlines that no one should be in possession of any firearm or ammunition without the appropriate firearm authorization that was granted under Part V. Firearm that is not marked in accordance with Section 29(1)(a)(f), all that. The latter section speaks to the specific form of identification a firearm imported or exported from Jamaica should have. This means that Mundell, the person who got the 4.5 years instead of the 15 years, this means that Mundell was charged and sentenced for having a legal gun belonging to someone else instead of being in possession of an illegal gun. A legal gun belonging to someone else. Now, you see how they twist this up when it's time for them to sue. I don't know what kind of connection him have. I mean, I say him come from uptown. I could have want get a youth, but him kill people for people and these things. Your gun in my possession Your legal firearm in my possession is an illegal gun. My legal firearm in your possession is an illegal gun if you get caught with it. So here they are. This means that Mundell was charged and sentenced for having a legal gun, which means the FLA knows this gun and it belongs to somebody legally. He was charged for having this legal gun belonging to someone else instead of being in possession of an illegal gun. How the rat did that make sense? How does that make sense? And whoever his attorney is, I want that attorney too, because them obviously can't get you out of anything. Now, he pleaded guilty in December after he was nabbed during an operation at premises in St. James 14 days earlier at the same time of his arrest. He was being sought by the police for 2 years for an alleged murder that occurred in 2020. Same personnel. And them hold him with a gun that belonged to somebody else, and them charge him with a lesser charge, and he got 4.5 instead of 15. And this is a man that the police had been looking for 2 years in connection to a murder that happened in 2020. Police are look for you for 2 years. Them catch you with gun, them give you 4.5 years. While the law says the minimum you should get is 15. Yes, BM. Now they're coming up with excuses when it's theirs or when it's anybody that they're connected to. They'll come up with excuses. Now, at the time of his arrest, he was sought by the police for 2 years for an alleged murder that occurred 2022. The Gleaner was told that the file submitted by the police to the DPP had Mundell being charged under Section 5 of the Act. However, that was subsequently changed to Section 45. Who subsequently changed it, Uman? No, you? Low Grey Front. Stella. Llewellyn, the law, yeah. Llewellyn said after multiple consultations with her team and the head of the legal reform and the head of the legal unit in the Ministry of Justice, it is now clear that Section 4 acts as a restriction on the prosecutorial discretion to use Section 45 as an alternative to Section 5. I don't want to hear nothing. So, we can only use Section 45 to indict for unauthorized possession of a firearm, where the firearm does not have a permit or a license. People, what this means is if you get catch with a gun, but the gun is legally recognized by the FLA, it has a number, it was issued to me with a permit. If you get catch with my gun, them can't charge you for unrecognized gun. So you won't have to do no 15 minimum. What does that tell gunman now? Make sure, so when them catch you with one of them people here who have licensed firearm, go kill one of them and take for them gun. Or thief one of for them gun. Because if we catch you with for them gun, you won't get no 15 minimum because that gun is recognized in the system. This is Jamaica for you, trying to work out them foolishness. Somebody didn't think about this before they put all this in place? Makes no sense. But what this does, though, right now, is it makes everyone who has a licensed firearm and is following the law high target. High target. This is Jamaica for you, ever festive, always a keep. Our own soap opera, don't need no other network or nothing like that. We're going to leave it right here this morning. Big up on yourself. Manners and respect to each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in. Rough start after a long night. But here we go. Let's take one phone call before we get out of here. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
SouFLo, hi, good morning. I just have a quick question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
When they're issued a permit, is the permit issued to the person or is the permit issued for the gun and the gun is legal but it doesn't transfer over to the person? I don't understand.
When they issue a permit, okay, so her question is when they issue a permit, is the permit issued to the person or is it issued for the gun? Okay, the permit is issued to the person. for the gun. It's all of the
Okay,
above. So your
then
permit will say a Glock 9mm serial number blah 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 belongs to you, Sharon Simpson, and Sharon Simpson is the only person that's permitted to have that Glock 9mm with serial number blah blah blah.
okay,
Right?
so then therefore, if the gun is not in my possession, would it be and is in someone's possession who does not have a permit? Wouldn't that be an illegal gun?
That's what I'm saying. Yes, it is. It's an illegal
Okay.
gun. But they're saying that even though it's an illegal gun in your possession, it's not as illegal as the new law states that the guns that you get 15 or more for, those are guns that are unrecognized by the system.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you.
All righty. All right. So we're gonna end it right there. So I'm gonna keep the conversation going in the comment section below. Big up on yourself, manners and respect to each and every one of you, and I will catch you later on. All right. I did a vlog video over the weekend just before we get out of here for the people who like to travel. Summertime is coming up soon, or whatever other season is coming up. We're packing our bags and we're going out, right? For those who like to travel, the places that I go, I normally stay in some pretty nice places. I put up a vlog yesterday. You can go check the vlog out. I did a complete house tour, and that's one of the locations that I can get you a great discount on if you want, if you're in these areas and you want to partake of these, right? I've done some in Jamaica. For those who want to go to Jamaica and you want a nice, safe place to stay, you can say SouFLo stayed here as well, you know. And then the people then will say, yeah, SouFLo send you. All right, we'll take off this much off of your thing. Okay, that kind of stuff. So pay attention to that. And my contact info for the real estate stuff is at the end of the video. All right. Bless up, walk good, and I'll see y'all tomorrow right here on Morning Thoughts. I'm out. Peace.